It's an honor to be here with each of you this evening to talk about such an important topic. And one of the realities that's not lost on me is that as the World Cup comes to Seattle, as it comes to Washington, there's a chance that this will be the most amount of trafficking activity that has happened in our state ever, or at least in a very long time. And we're here to address the question, what can each of us do to be a part of that, to be a part of stopping that? At the Coffee Oasis, the state of homelessness in youth in Washington right now is that there's about 40,000 youth who experience homelessness. In the entire state, there's about 7 shelters that can take people under the age of 18. And the Coffee Oasis runs 2 of those, less than 100 beds in the entire state. And for the youth that come to the Coffee Oasis, typically by the time they get to us, their social fabric, their social network has kind of eroded around them. As you can imagine, it's no 14-year-old's dream to live in an emergency shelter, away from family, away from care. Oftentimes people ask me, is the Coffee Oasis the best place for homeless teens to end up? And the answer is that it's not. The best place for a teenager to be is inside of a loving, caring family. But for so many youth in our state, that's not a reality for them. That's not a real piece of their story. And we've heard tonight so much about the young people who are impacted by trafficking, wondering who loves me, who cares about me, which is a completely normal part of being a teenager, no matter how good of a family you come from, who's there for me. For the youth that come to the Coffee Oasis, typically there's nobody in their network who they would say, that person cares for me. And so what we've seen frequently is that these traffickers are answering that question for these young girls, telling them, I care about you. I care about you. And that's the luring them in of this false ideation of I care about you. And as a 14-year-old living on the street, sleeping outside in an encampment or sleeping where you don't know you're going to be tonight, sometimes going with somebody who says that they love you, who offers you a place to sleep, offers you something to eat, offers you the illusion of safety, is more appealing than being by yourself in an encampment or wandering the streets or finding an overhang to sleep under. But for so many youth, that is their real experience, their real lived experience every day. And at the Coffee Oasis, we talk about all of the different tools and all of the different avenues and all of the different things that we can do to serve youth and help them find stable housing, stable employment, graduate from high school. But the reality is that so many of our youth, and I talk to my staff about this all the time, what so many young people are looking for is someone to really care about them, an adult to care about them, who doesn't have an alternate agenda besides just truly caring for them. And for us at the Coffee Oasis, what we find, and we've heard it tonight, is we have youth who come to our shelter who are actively being trafficked. Some of whom are trying to get away from it. Some of whom are still actively in the process of trusting their pimp more than they trust anyone else in the world. And for us, it's a slow process of relationships where so many of these young people have been hurt by people in their life who they expect to be able to trust, by a parent, by a mentor, by a friend, by this pimp who has told them, I care about you, and it's now they're wondering, what's going on? And so for us, it's a slow process of building that trust so that it moves, the base of trust moves from the support network that they think in their mind is supporting them to an adult who doesn't actually have an ill agenda for them, but honestly wants the best for them. And for a youth who's gone through trafficking, sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between what's real care and what is usury. What's somebody using me for their end goal, especially when that is what has provided safety for them so long. And so that's the challenge. The challenge is building the relationship slowly. The challenge is creating a safe place. And all of the housing is important. Having a job is important, graduating from high school is important. All those things are important, especially for a youth who's experiencing homelessness, to move out of that lifestyle. But all of that pales in comparison to building real relationships. And at the Coffee Oasis, as a Christian organization, I tell my staff this all the time, which is, we believe that helping somebody graduate from high school is important. We believe that giving somebody a safe place to sleep and a safe place to live is important. But equally or more life-changing than all of those things is that a young person would know how Christ loves them. Mm-hmm. And so that's such an important part of the work that we do is showing the love of Christ through the work that we do, through the actions that we do, but also the words that we share with the youth, the truth that we speak over them. And we've seen time and time again youth come out of trafficking at the Coffee Oasis because of the relationships that are being built between the youth and my staff. At the Coffee Oasis, we're not a Compasion, Washington, we don't specifically deal with youth who are being trafficked as the cause. It really comes to us through youth who are experiencing homelessness. And so partnering with partners like Compasion, Washington is so important for us because of the specific work that they're able to provide, because of the nuanced care that they're able to provide for these youth. Because as you can imagine, going through trafficking creates traumas in a young person that take time and take love and take care and take relationships to move in a new direction in life. And so that's what we're here to talk about. And as the World Cup comes, I grew up in a missionary family. My dad was born in Japan and raised in Liberia. My parents started an international mission organization. So I have fond memories of being like 10 years old and being packed in this tiny little room in Malawi, Africa, with like 40 people watching like a 12-inch TV screen being powered by a generator, watching Zinedine Zidane headbutt the guy from the Netherlands, if you remember that. That's like seared into my memory. It was such an amazing experience, and it is this global unifier. But as Philip shared, there's this other global unifier that is not a partisan issue for those of us who care and love the people in our community. And that's the desire to stop this evil from happening. So part of that is coming to events like this. It's volunteering at events. It's learning the signs of trafficking. It's being involved in compassionately caring about your community and finding out the things that you can do to make a difference, finding out ways that you can plug into it. And I've been in nonprofit work for a long time. I've been a fundraiser for a long time. I've asked people for a lot of money for a long time. and what I can tell you is this. Every nonprofit would love for you to give $5 a month, would love for you to come and volunteer. It doesn't have to be a crazy thing for you to do that. But if everybody gets involved a little bit, it's like Acts 2, right? If everybody shares a little bit of what they have together, there's enough for everyone. And so that is my ask for you tonight, is to get involved, to find a time to volunteer. If you can't volunteer, if you have $5 to donate $5. Part of what I want to do, I haven't shared this with Christine yet, but part of what I want to do with the Coffee Oasis is I've talked to our baristas here in Tacoma. We're going to donate all of the tips that we make during the entire World Cup to Compasion, Washington. And it's important. We're in it together. So thank you so much for allowing me to share. Thank you so much for being here. It is you being here that is making a difference. It's having these conversations. It's shining the light into the dark areas of the world that is going to make this a better place for all of us, especially those of us who are hurting and who are being impacted by such an evil. Thank you.